let's clear something up, guys. If you have ADHD and you feel like you're addicted to sugar, you are not broken, you are not weak. Sugar is doing a job for the ADHD brain. And if you don't understand what that job is, weight loss consistency, eating healthy will always feel impossible for you. So in this video, I'm going to explain why it is that ADHD brains crave sugar so intensely, why it can feel compulsive, obsessive, like you've almost got no control of it, but why saying things like, I'm addicted to sugar, I can't control it, is making the problem worse. So if you are someone that's ever thought, oh, why can't I just stop? Why does one biscuit always become 10? Why is sugar always in my brain? This is all going to make sense to you. Now, this used to be me. I genuinely believed I was addicted to sugary junk foods. Like, genuinely. Not in like a, oh my God, I love chocolate kind of way. Like, it was embarrassing. It was shameful, you know? Like, I remember scraping together coins in the bottom of my bag and purse to be able to buy a cookie. I remember like going downstairs and literally hiding food under my like pajamas. I loved being home first from school so I could just go and eat whatever biscuits or what, like sometimes I'd go and make like cake mix and just eat it just so no one could see it. Like that's the level it was at. And like it gave me such this like, oh, feeling like that was what I was chasing. Because that's what people talk about. No one really talks about, right? It's people talk about how delicious the food is and feeling out of control, but the pleasure that you get from it, the regulation you get from it, like that's the powerful part. That's what feels addictive. And when you do something that gives you such a sense of like relief, and obviously in ADHD brains, dopamine, your brain goes, do it again. Because that was really good. Like, do it again, please. And then you're in this cycle where your brain's telling you to do it, and then you do it, and then it doesn't feel good, whether you feel bloated, you feel sick, you've looked in the mirror, you've stood on the scales, and that shame comes in. And also the shame of just like actually what I've done. Like I remember hiding packets of food and hiding the plates under my bed, and it's, those inner narratives of like, I've got no control and I'm addicted and there's something wrong with me. But those narratives are missing like the context of the bigger picture completely. Because the thing is, calling this sugar addiction is like saying someone is addicted to painkillers when they're walking around with a broken leg the whole time. The issue isn't the painkiller, the issue is the unmanaged pain. They're addicted to not feeling like shit, right? And that is what a sugar craving is with the neurodivergent brain. It's a drive to not feel like shit, ultimately. Because ADHD brains are chronically understimulated in dopamine, right? Our dopamine levels are deficient, ultimately. So we need more dopamine. We're always chasing it. And dopamine helps us to feel better. And sugar gives us a really, really quick dopamine hit. So when you are feeling emotionally dysregulated, overstimulated, anxious, upset, burnt out, whatever it is, sugar is a very, very easy, reliable, consistent regulator. That isn't addiction as such, or that you're greedy. It's just your brain's trying to cope. It knows this thing can help you cope, so it's telling you to go and do the thing. Like, it makes logical sense when you see it like that. And when you are labeling yourself as someone who is addicted or out of control or has no willpower, like whatever phrase that you tell yourself in terms of how you are with sugar, you usually respond in ways that validate that. Like our brain likes to confirm what it believes to be true. Something called the self-fulfilling prophecy, which is a psychological concept that we would rather do things that align with what we believe, even if it's not helpful, even if it's not particularly great. So if you're telling yourself that, like you're more likely to do behaviors that compensate. So maybe trying to ban yourself from it, trying to like go cold turkey, or then like overeating on it when you do have a little bit, and all these things like just, we know don't actually help. If you're then restricting because you feel like you've got no control, it makes you actually more out of control. So it kind of becomes this vicious cycle. So what I'm trying to get at here is that you are not failing, you are not addicted. You are telling yourself these stories that make you more likely to go all out of like restricting it, cutting it out of your diet because you believe you've got no self-control, and those behaviors actually fuel you overeating on it, which confirms that narrative that I've got no control, right? And the reason that you're turning to sugar in the first place isn't because you're out of control, it's because your ADHD nervous system brain is just trying to feel less shit. So when it comes to trying to lose weight and live a healthy lifestyle, sugar often becomes like public enemy number one. Not because sugar is the devil or evil, but it's filling a role that you can't meet anywhere else, right? Because if sugar has become that main source of regulation to not feel so shit, and then you remove it because you've got no self-control and it's stopping you losing weight, you've got nothing to regulate yourself with. So then all of a sudden, like these feelings of shitness and anxiety and overwhelm come in, and you can't cope, so you turn to food and then you overeat. So then that's why you feel like consistency is just absolutely impossible. And that's why so many people do well for a few days and then fall off the bandwagon, or stress happens and they fall off the bandwagon, or they're fine all day and then they lose control at night because the nervous system is tapping out. The nervous system is asking to feel less shit, and you've learned that sugar is the thing that does that. So let me say this clearly. You are not addicted to sugar. You are simply using sugar to regulate yourself, to manage your dopamine, to manage the chaotic, busy mind of having ADHD. So now that you understand this, the question needs to not be, how do I take control back of sugar or ban it? It's, what do I need to now give my brain in order to regulate myself so I'm not relying on sugar? Because you do not fix sugar cravings and urges by just grinding harder and trying harder. You fix it by regulating your brain and learning how to work with it instead of fighting it. Now, there's two ways that you can do this. The first is to understand ways that you can top up your dopamine levels without turning to sugar. And if you go into the description, you will see there is a guide that you can download of ways to top up your dopamine. So make sure that you go and download that and start to implement those things into your day. But that alone is not going to remove how in control you feel around sugar. But lucky for you, I'm treating you today, guys. I've recorded a whole video on how to manage sugar cravings with ADHD. So go and check that out. Pair those two together and I promise you, you implement it, you take action. And if you do and you don't see results, I will personally phone you and give you some advice or something. Like, that's how confident I am. You will see results. You will feel more in control. You will no longer feel broken. There is nothing wrong with you. You are not broken when it comes to sugar. You are not addicted. Your behavior makes complete logical sense with ADHD. And when you understand the why, you're not just this broken default human. You can actually start working on the things that are going to get you to where you want to be. Now, in future videos, I will cover more about emotional regulation and relationships with food, weight loss, in order to make the process better. So just make sure that if you aren't already, you have hit that subscribe button so you do not miss out. And if you have found this helpful, just drop me a comment below. Let me know that you're here. Let me know that you're here. Like, so many people watch these videos and I have no idea who they are because it doesn't tell me. So it would be great to just see like a thumbs up, a hey, a thank you. You can obviously leave a more meaningful comment, but just let me know that you're here, guys. All right? Over and out for today. Go and check out those resources and I will see you on the next one.